मनमोहिनी महालक्ष्मी जगन्माता मधुसूदन प्रिय मनमोहिनी मधुसूदन प्रिय मनमोहिनी आदिलक्ष्मी धनधान्य लक्ष्मी आदिलक्ष्मी धनधान्य लक्ष्मी सौभाग्य लक्ष्मी संतान लक्ष्मी वीर्य लक्ष्मी धैर्य लक्ष्मी श्रीवर लक्ष्मी पाहि मां वीर्य लक्ष्मी धैर्य लक्ष्मी श्रीवर लक्ष्मी पाहि मां चंचल सुमंगल वसुंधरा वसुप्रद पद्मिनी सुनंदिनी निरंजनी भार्गवी चंचल सुमंगल वसुंधरा वसुप्रद पद्मिनी सुनंदिनी निरंजनी भार्गवी अमल कमल विमले हरिवल्लभे शुभे अमल कमल विमले हरिवल्लभे शुभे मंदहास चंद्रवदन शीतलां नमाम्यहम् मंदहास चंद्रवदन शीतलां नमाम्यहम् महालक्ष्मी जगन्माता मधुसूदन प्रिय मनमोहिनी मधुसूदन प्रिय मनमोहिनी मधुसूदन प्रिय मनमोहिनी शंभो शंकर नमः शिवाय सांब सदा शिव नमः शिवाय शंभो शंकर नमः शिवाय सांब सदा शिव नमः शिवाय शंभो शंकर नमः शिवाय कैलासाधिप नमः शिवाय कैलासाधिप नमः शिवाय सांब सदा शिव नमः शिवाय शंभो शंकर नमः शिवाय सांब सदा शिव नमः शिवाय शंभो शंकर नमः शिवाय विभूति शंकर नमः शिवाय विभूति शंकर नमः शिवाय सांब सदा शिव नमः शिवाय शंभो शंभो शंकर नमः शिवाय सांब सदा शिव नमः शिवाय शंभो शंकर नमः शिवाय त्रिशूलधारी नमः शिवाय त्रिशूलधारी नमः शिवाय सांब सदा शिव नमः शिवाय शंभो शंभो शंकर नमः शिवाय सांब सदा शिव नमः शिवाय शंभो शंकर नमः शिवाय चिदंबरेश नमः शिवाय चिदंबरेश नमः शिवाय सांब सदा शिव नमः
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनास्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः एव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सर्ववेदान्त सिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। We are in the 35th shloka. And for Pujya Gurudev, this 35th shloka was a very favorite one. He used to pause several times during this particular shloka, and when asked why, he would say that it reminded him of Swami Tapona Maharaj when he had gone to meet him for the first time. And the emotion that is depicted here, it reminded him of himself when he met Swami Tapona Maharaj for the beat of svāminnamastē natalōkabandhō kāruṇyasindhō patitaṁ bhavābdhau patitaṁ bhavābdhau māmuddharātmīyakaṭākṣadr māmuddharātmīyakaṭākṣadr rajvāti kāruṇyasudhābhivrṣṭyā rajvyāti kāruṇyasudhābhivrṣṭyā. I think I mispronounced the third line and I tried correcting it. māmuddharātmīyakaṭākṣadr. Namaste natalōkabandhō. Many of us, we start with namaste, पर कुछ नहीं समझते. Because even that surrender that we talk about, here the student is offering unconditionally. Swamin O Master, Namaha Te. And this is the beauty of Sanskritam. One word, Namaste, the entire philosophy is given. Clear, one word. Talk about being succinct and to the point. Namaha Te. It becomes two words. Te, unto you. Namaha, salutations. If this were to be written in a sentence format, then it should be Aham Te Namaskaromi. The Sanskritam sentence that it should have been written in. But then the rishis must have meditated that if the salutation is to be offered, in that act of salutation, to whom this salutation is being offered is that Ishvara in that form, is that Supreme in that form. So that unto whom the salutations is being offered is important. The act of surrendering and offering the salutations, putting the head down, Punjabi half, it almost feels like when somebody does like that, then immediately my vocabulary changes. I start saying kabaddi, kabaddi, kabaddi. It almost feels like a kabaddi, kabaddi. Somebody initially I was like, kar kya rahe ho? Well, one thing, and though we pull fun at what they do, one thing is to be mentioned at the same breath. One community, that it does not matter if it is an airport or a bus stand or a school or a college, when you see an elder, please bend down and do namaskar. That is to be learned from them. बाकी सब का ना रीढ़ अकड़ के खड़ा रहता है. We don't even bend down in offering. That head bends down in complete surrender. So the aham component there, that is the whole idea of our Vedanta Shastra. Aham apetakam nija vibhanakam mahadidam tapaha ramana vagiyam. This is the word of the one who is reveling in the absolute. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is saying it. That what is the greatest tapas? To remove that ahankara. One word, namaste, this whole philosophy is given in such a beautiful pointer. That unto whom that we are offering, irrespective of who that person is, small, young, old, educated, uneducated, illiterate, doesn't matter. Our salutation does not require their qualification to be offering our salutations. Because it is that Ishvara alone in that format. And here who are we offering it? Who is the student offering that namaskara to? Guru who has taken that Shishya compassionately under his wings. And when you are touched by that compassion, when once that seeker is touched with that compassion, now for that, we cannot stand on the sidelines. Yes, the Guru, kāruṇyasindhō, is ready to embrace you as you are. But that effort, first effort has to be put by us. That I am here to surrender at your feet. offer myself at your feet. That whether it is vyavahara, transactional, or highest Vedantic knowledge, nothing is kept a secret or a barred thing. I am here revealing completely. In all nakedness, I stand in front of you. To have the courage to be able to vulnerability in front of that one who is ready to take us to, it is nothing less than a miracle. Go to a doctor and the doctor is asking, क्या हुआ? नहीं, मैं नहीं बताता. अरे बताओ. नहीं, मुझे नहीं बताना. I don't want to tell you. And if it is a busy doctor, the doctor will say, next. Chal hat. On a very jovial front, when some amma is serving food, I said, Swamiji, don't feel shy. I said, I'm shameless on two tables. One is the food table and the other one is the doctor's table. You have to reveal completely. There is no inhibition in between there. Completely gone. You cannot be singing Parde mein rehne do. That veil of our inhibition has to be dropped. Standing on the sidelines, he didn't even notice. I don't know what he will do. Tum approach karo. You go. In my native language, until you ask, even mother does not put the food. You have to ask. Then she will pour it out. You just have to ask. And many of us stand on the sidelines watching. Hopefully he sees it me once. Because I have seen in Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's and Vivekanandaji's interaction, Yoganandaji's and Yukteswar Maharajji's interaction, they were, even in Vivekanandaji's interaction, it was Vivekanandaji who went, approached, knocked on those doors and up. So in this offering, he is saying that I am here completely surrendering without any inhibitions. I am an open book unto you. Whether it is materialistic, vyavahara, emotional, intellectual, to take us to where we should be. And we keep hiding that and not surrendering completely. And there is no point. I am ready here. I offer myself completely at your feet. And what do I need? I don't know what I need. Because if I knew, so he says it very clearly here. I have come here, natalōkabandhō. Natalōkabandhō, you are the closest, most intimate friend of the one that courage to surrender. But that act of surrender should be done by the student. Natalōkabandhō. Once you have surrendered. Now once we have surrendered, there is no demand from our side. condition qualified as a surrender. It becomes another vyavahara. natalōkabandhō. You are the closest, the most intimate friend and everything. kāruṇyasindhō. kāruṇyasindhō, ocean of karuna, compassion. That's such a beautiful word. Atmaji, who calls Adi Shankaracharya ji as Akarana Karuna Sindhu. And every time he mentions Adi Shankaracharya ji's name, his eyes swell up with tears. 52 years walking length and breadth of the entire country, teaching dharma, teaching all this knowledge and uplifting the souls as he is moving on. What he has given in that short span, we would never be able to comprehend the greatness. And why did he do this service? Reason other than pure karuna. Karunasindhō. Rest of the relations, whatever compassion that we offer, it is our responsibility to offer. Now look at it from the standpoint of the master who has realized that everything that is in the interactive world is nothing but mithya. It continues as long as we want it to continue because it is purely born out of our delusion. Why would they need to even look back at that kind of world? They're not obligated in any sense. And to such a great lineage, has the audacity to blame that, oh, the Hinduism, you are all selfish people. Because you only think about your realization and not about the world. You can only if you have helped yourself. If you don't know swimming and there is another fellow who is drowning, all vigor to save the other fellow, and later realize when the cold water hits you is, ouch, I don't know swimming. So what will happen? Will be blessed by 2 counts getting less. एक तो डूब रहा था, साथ में दूसरा भी गया. Only if you have a firm stand, you're good at it. So it is not selfishness, but it is the most unselfish platform. And now they did not abandon the world, but came back. And the only reason that I can state or see is not long ago they were in that same condition and they know where it hurts and why it hurts. And therefore they want to come back to help that individual, uplift them from that condition. Other than that, there is no other. Therefore, kāruṇyasindhō. जी की बड़ी चढ़ाकर बात कर दी. He praised the Guru. Praising him. What he's saying. And why did I come to you? Patitaṁ bhavābdhau māmuddharā. This bhavasagara, I am completely lost, clueless. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to proceed. I understand that I am caught in these loops, constantly going round and round and round. Those dogs, furry dogs. It starts with P. Not a poodle. Pomeranian. Thank you. Animals. A poor thing cannot scratch its tail. Reach. So, in its overzealous effort, it turns around to scratch with its own mouth. Around, what happens to that tail? It thinks it is hiding from it. Like, peekaboo. So it is hiding. So it goes and it thinks, oh, next attempt, maybe if I go faster. So there ensues its brilliance. It keeps going round and round and round and round and round and round. A flash of brainwave. You can see that clarity in its eyes. Aure teri! Because I'm going like this, the tail is going like this. What if I turn around? The tail should already be there. I should catch it. It now starts spinning on this side. So all its life, what it is doing? Reaching nowhere. That is my bhavābdhau. Is the ocean of bhava. This is a very beautiful word. And if the student has used that particular word, he understands the working of the world. Bhava, we have heard it in bhajans, we use it, samsara sagara, bhava sagara, we keep using these words. What does bhava sagara actually mean? Is from the root word called bhu, to be. Is to become. We have this innate tendency to find fulfillment, to find completeness. Absence of this completeness and fulfillment, the hollowness keeps staring at us. Or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly, we start putting out an effort. Maybe if I interact with this kind of environment, this kind of people, this kind of things, this kind of environment, in hoping that that environment, that person, that vastu will give me that sense of completeness. That's why when these young boys and girls, when they talk, oh, I'm waiting for my Mr. Right, ढूंढते रह जाओगे. There is no Mr. Right out there. And then somebody clicks. Oh, Swamiji, I tell you, कुछ तो हो गया. कुछ कुछ होता है. What do you mean? दिल तो पागल है. That when I am with that person, it feels so complete. प्यार हो गया. हाय हाय हाय. There's something in the wedding cake. उसके बाद से शुरू होता है सब कुछ. You have to blame something, right? So this son goes to his father and he says, Dad, I think I'm in love. That she is the one that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And the father very sternly looks at him and said, Idiot, say sorry. Confused. But why? Said, say sorry. Said, say sorry. And grudgingly he says, sorry. Say sorry without knowing the reason. Then you are qualified to get married. No, Dad, you are not understanding me. I know, I feel very complete with that individual. It's only time. Sometimes within few weeks, sometimes within few months, sometimes within a year or two, that La La Land period dries up. Swamiji, what to tell you? Don't ask. Okay. But you know, what happened? I thought I found the right person. Welcome. People, I still find it very amusing that when we move from India to here, bash India, left, right, center. Ye acha nahi hai, wo acha nahi hai, this is bad, that is bad, pollution, no lane sense, traffic problem. What do you expect with 1.3 billion people? Anyway, bash them up. And here, that happens. That's a wrong comparison. You try to move from there for a better opportunity, but that does not mean that this situation does not have its own problems. Set of problems are absent, but here it has its own set of problems. So whether I change from one environment to the other, from one person to the other, from one vastu to the other, is not experienced. So in this process, what is happening? I am constantly becoming one after the other, different aspects. Layers after layers after layers of this becoming are being added in. To find that completeness, maybe if I become a good student, there is happiness. Maybe if I become a good friend, maybe if I find a good environment, all these different aspects, layers that keep adding on, realize where am I? Stuck in a web that I have created of becoming, lose track as to what did I become last time when I met this fellow. Patitaṁ bhavābdhau. In that samsara sagara, in that ocean of becoming, if I don't become anything, then it is seen as something irregular. Kuch to gadbad hai bechare mein. Why? Become a part of, or that individual is refusing to. So psychologically, there must be something wrong. Take them to a shrink. It's almost by a pressure of the conditioning that we live in, that becoming has become a part of our such a life that when there is an environment where you don't have to become anything, and you're bored. And Gurudev says it very beautifully. Whenever we are bored, what do? कुछ नहीं यार, बहुत बोर मार रहा था, चल आजा, let's have some fun. So Gurudev used to say, what does boredom mean? That you cannot stand. If you cannot stand your own self, why thrust such a personality on someone else, somewhere else? Become anything, you just are. I don't know. I'm confused. Kach, constantly. Patitaṁ bhavābdhau. So caught up in becoming. Māmuddhara. Enough of this tail catching, never ending process. Every avenue. In Mundaka Shruti it is said, Pariksha lokan karmachitan nirveda brahmanaha. Nasti akritaha kritena. Pariksha lokan. With every aspect of world and worldliness, every road that has been taken is a dead end. God cannot give me that completeness which I am seeking. Enough of it. Being in this cycle, I don't know what actually propels me out of it. Take me out of it. You seem to be the one being in this world and yet so shanta, so compassionate. So you are unlike many that I have seen. To get to that stage, can you put me on that path, on that tangent? Mam uddhara. Ṣṭyā ati kāruṇyasindhō. This path I have seen. This fellow has, this particular seeker seems to have experienced so-called field of spirituality, lot of loops that keep going round and round and round. Close your eyes. The glow inside. And after 3 hours or 4 hours of such intense, and did you experience it? It was so beautiful. There's nothing that I could understand. There's nothing that was explained. Oh, it was such a good feeling. Somebody talks of spirituality as a feeling. Understand, the progress has not ever happened. Because it has nothing to do with feeling. It is when I transcend that feeling, when I transcend that field of emotion and intellectualization, then that blabbering doesn't happen. Only silence happens. Then we don't start evaluating meditation or spiritual unfoldment as if, many times I feel when people say, oh Swamiji, today's meditation was so beautiful. Jalebi tha, chakke khane ke liye. Enjoying the outside world, now you are trying to enjoy something else called spirituality. Drishti there. It is to transcend that kartrutva, bhoktrutva. That bhoga drishti has to be transcended. I've been to all such environments either. Enough of that. I need something which is simple, straightforward, direct. Tvam. See, however confused Arjuna was, there was no crookedness in him. Called Arjuna. Arjuna, the one who had that rujutvam, that directness, that sincerity, that simplicity. We are also very straightforward. As straightforward as a jalebi. I have seen all these loops of various things. I need something which is direct, simple, and sincere. kāruṇyasindhō ātmīyakaṭākṣadr. I see the grace, blessings just by your glance. Or drishti matrena. It reveals where you have been established. And that is where I want to reach. I'm interested in whatever it takes to reach there. Help me reach there in the most direct sense. Such a beautiful, passionate plea of the student. Svāminnamastē natalōkabandhō Sindho patitaṁ bhavābdhau māmuddharātmīyakaṭākṣadr ṣṭyā kāruṇyasindhō. And then Adi Shankaracharya ji continues as the plea of this student in the 36th shloka. Durvara samsara davagni taptam dodhuyamanam duradrishtavataihi bhitam prapannam prato paripahi mrityoho sharanyamanyad aham na jane anyad yadaham na jane anyamanyad yadaham na jane. Svāmeva. Wherever I could see, wherever I could seek, what I could seek refuge, tried them all. It seems glamorous, enticing enough. Finally, it lacks luster, it lacks clarity. How is that samsara? Durvara samsara davagni taptam. Must have been really tried, particular seeker must have tried possible avenue. And looking from the intensity of what the seeker is saying, I have personally gone through what he is describing. Blessed enough to find at the right age and to be picked. Durvara samsara davagni taptam. How is the samsara? Is like a scorching heat. And in that scorching, unbearable durvara, taptam, I am run a pilluge that can be sought. But there is constant disappointment after disappointment that I feel completely burnt out. Burnt out is not a new word. Adi Shankaracharya ji has used it so efficiently here. How is the samsara? That which has left me deep fried. I have been fried up in this samsara of trying to find sara. Sara, some essence that will be like a balm, will be like a medicine to where I am. It has only roasted. And not just roasted. Manam. Those who yamanam. Word that immediately came on. ये दुनिया ने साला धो डाला मेरे को. Those who yamanam. Those who yamanam tossed mercilessly. That is why when things happen wherein I have anticipated, I have envisioned, I have planned, I have spent every possible moment gearing myself towards something, and you almost have swung there, you're about to reach and it just slipped. The last moment you just slipped. When I was young, I used to do a lot of monkey business. From one tree to the other. I was a menace to the neighborhood. Until I became a brahmachari, never had purchased a fruit. Why? There was enough on everybody's backyard. हमारी टोली होती थी, 15-20 of us. After dinner of darkness, we would decide today whose backyard to be raided. Somebody's house papaya, somebody's house guava, somebody's house anar, somebody's house, the mango. Purchase it and climb those trees, jump from here to there. Taking a swing from one to the other, thinking that yes, I can jump. It would be short, couple of inches, that I could almost see it was right there. Top. Get to the edge of this tree and almost about to leap. And what happened to this branch here? Growing up, there was never a period when there was no band-aid on my body somewhere. Somewhere or the other. Named me as Phatichar. Phatichar is like हमेशा फटा हुआ रहता था. Opened up somewhere that there is some band-aid, some gauze and something. After a while, my parents stopped bothering. हाथ गिर गया होगा कहीं पे. I was 12 or 13. I could have been a very good compounder, breaking their poor parts or scrapes and here and there. I knew how to nicely put a band-aid. So when you're trying to jump and that which you thought was the base, grounding, suddenly it breaks, falls apart. Distrust. You thought that you had this friend, that you had your back. The nick of the moment when you really wanted, you turned around, there was nobody. Tossed by friendship, relationships, from material, from opportunities. Happen. to learn. Adhamaha, the lower kind of analytical capacity, they'll start beating themselves up. Only to me. Why me? Why me only? Why me always? They go into that loop. Self-pity and glorifying their pathetic state, and play constantly the victim. Then those who have a little more sharpness, but not a very sharp analytical capacity, little sharper than these fellows, madhyama, they turn out to become bitter. And this whole world is like this only. Nothing can be trusted. Nothing is worth trusting. 35, 40, and you can see the bitterness and that angst in their face. Life is nothing trustworthy. They become bitter. Those blessed ones who use those different opportunities, circumstances that have created that restlessness, that the base has been completely shaken up, that they pause and truly spend time in analyzing, in thinking. What am I in it for? Where am I searching it in? Where is my method? Is it profound? Seeking, can it be found? That is what these different experiences are trying to point at us. और हम कैसे हैं? We fall down sheepishly, miss हो गया, slip हो गया, and then again limping, इस बार, and again drop. You have seen the dead end of every street that you have tried running into. That we are seeking. As I said the other day, the North Dakota example. Not justified if you miss the exit more than once. You gave me the answer. If you miss an exit to a place that you are going, you can miss it once. You take a U-turn and again come back, take the exit, and you are done. Every single time you come across and say, "Arre, miss ho gaya re." It. And it's no more fun. First time maybe you can laugh it off. Second time maybe sheepishly shrug it off. It becomes a pattern of constant repetitivity, that you keep repeating the same thing. And people start defining themselves. That I'm a loser, I'm a pathetic person, I'm a no good person, I'm this and that. Constantly they keep repeating it. Defining yourself to such existence, pause, think. And this individual has seen it. Dodhuyamanam. Here and there. Now I have made a conviction. Tossed around. What am I searching? Is it there, that which I am searching? Can it be found? Duradrishtavataihi. Duradrishtavataihi. Different misfortunes. Storms of misfortunes. I have gone through enough scary situations. Bhitam. Having seen all of that, knowing very well that that which I am seeking is not there out in the world, Therefore, I have come to you, O Master. Paripahi. Save me. Save you from where? Constant mishap of birth, death, and the cycle. Sometimes people come to satsang or Devi group, and I've heard them say it to me. Until we came to Vedanta, our lives were really good. After coming to Vedanta, after coming to Devi group and study group and listening to satsangs, becoming more bitter. World has started becoming more tasteless. It's the time that I have to give myself a pat. Shabash. The world was pleasant earlier. It was just that we were not equipped enough to see it in the right. Having seen it in the right perspective, the student says, Sharanyam anyat yad aham na jane. Any other refuge other than knowing this knowledge, knowing this wisdom, help you stay in that platform. That knowledge is what I seek, nothing else. See, sometimes when we are confused, we are not very clear as to what the confusion is. I have found a solution, but understanding what that confusion is in itself is a big relief. Problem is, in itself is a big relief. That is like 50% of, 50% of solution already found. That there is a problem. The other half is now to fix it. So I see the problem and I see you as the solution. And I come with a complete surrender. That is why when we say in a Jai Jagadish Hare, that particular line, Haath uthao. When does somebody lift their hands? In arguments, when there is an intense argument, okay. I have nothing more in my hand and it's done, fine. Or something, and you come with a white cloth. You have no more weapons or any other instrument. You have completely lost everything. Now you are ready to surrender. So you raise your hand. अपने हाथ उठाओ, अपने चरण बढ़ाओ. And that's another aspect that many out there have as a common feel or understanding. That those who have gone spiritual for years, they would look at me and look at my clothes and say, "Ayyo, poor fellow. What happened? Why did you take to this path?" I can narrate many experiences. Once I was coming back from Bombay, ashram, and this very talkative marketing person He walks in and I'm sitting there in corner. I'm by myself. I'm happy sitting there in that corner. And he introduces himself. I'm so and so. I'm Malhotra. ठीक है. Glad to know your name. I didn't want to extend the conversation, so I didn't even offer my name. So rude. You have to tell your name. यार बाबा मैं इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हूँ यार, छोड़ दे मुझे. I said, okay, Brahmachari Uddhava Chaitanya. That was the name then. So he looks at me and says, Brahmachari! Brahmachari. Same thing. No, same thing nahi hai. So, oh, you mean, what is this whole thing? In India, they have these Ayyappa Diksha and this Diksha and that Diksha. They take for 15 days, 40 days. कोई दीक्षा वीक्षा ले रखा है? So I said, permanent Diksha hai. Temporary Diksha, this is a permanent Diksha. अरे इतनी कम उम्र में? Why? By then, I had become an amusement for the entire compartment. Everybody like, क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? And this person is like, did you fail in your exams or something while studying? Therefore, you took to this path? No. You should at least stop and give me an opportunity. No, but on his own. Did you lose in your business or something? You owe someone something, therefore you ran away and you joined here. And after 5-6 attempts of failures that he could think, and looks at others conspicuously and looks at me and says, love में fail हो गया था क्या? Or something. Usually that is the assumption. Is for those who have either good for nothing or they are these defeatists. And those experiences that we go through, when analyzed thoroughly, lead to this path as the solution. Therefore, he says, Aham na jane. There is no other path other than this knowledge and that wisdom in which you are firmly abiding in. I am seeking this. Continuing. Shanta mahanto nivasanti santo vasanta vallokahitam charantaha tirna swayam bhima bhavarnavam janan अहेतु नान्यानपि तारयन्तः ता महान्तः सन्तः निवसन्ति. There are many out there who are shantaha. Shantaha, they are very, and such santaha saintly ones, sadhu, antaha, very magnanimous in their outlook. There are such. How are they? Vasanta vat lokahitam charantaha. They are like Vasanta Rutu. When does Vasanta Rutu happen? Severe spell of, and when winter happens, like it just started today here. Everything. At least up north here in US, they have multitudes of colors. And not that we don't have colors in Dallas. We have green and brown. Straight. And for people from north, when we say we are having cold spell, they laugh at us. Oh, we koi cold hai. Summers have been about 110, 115, and when it dips to 28, oh, cold hai. It is definitely cold. And what happens? It is as if the clouds have taken up the entire spectrum. Sun, gayab, disappeared. Or like for last 4-5 days, there was no sun. Complete dark, gloomy, cold. And however much the northern people may laugh, we do have our snow and sleet. Because we don't know how to drive in that. Another northerner laughing at us. Because he lived in North Dakota. And after going through such severe cold weather, when the temperature starts rising, birds start coming back. The dry weather or dry climatic conditions or the flora and fauna that is absent suddenly starts opening up. Those fresh leaves, still with that tinge of redness in it. And the entire backyard and wherever you go, all the trees start opening up with these possibilities. And they start flowers. There are birds chirping, there are bees. How pleasant it looks like. And how crisp the weather looks. And as they say, picture perfect. Happens once a year. Now these Mahatmas, wherever they live, wherever they are a part of, that entire environment, that entire community, that entire place, antavat lokahitam charantaha. The entire place starts blossoming as if it was Vasanta Rutu. Long time ago, when I had gone for Padayatra, by then I had a lot of bitter experiences of not having food or being chased away, thinking that I was a thief or a dacoit or something. Had a lot of ups and downs of experiences. And had walked almost about 35-40 days in southern India. So I had now become an expert beggar. You have to know what time to ask. Usually, when do they give? When do they partake with? When are they ready to share with whatever they have? When they themselves have had it, and now there is something left, that is what is ready to be given. Even if you are hungry by 11 or 12 because you are walking all day long, nobody is going to give you. So you have to wait till 1:32. So one village that I was passing by, it was about 11:30. Nobody is going to open their houses and give any bhiksha. Firm vow of parivrajaka. Nothing, no comfort, just walk. So I said, this village, mere bhagya mein nahi hai. So I kept walking. And I had almost crossed that village. And there was this guy who was calling in Tamil. He was calling someone. And I didn't pay attention because who would call a stranger? So I didn't pay attention, and this fellow was on a cycle, huffing, puffing, and I finally stopped right in front of me. And I said, Lilanga. And I was like, stop. I said, look, I am a sadhu. I have nothing with me. So you cannot loot me, and I have not come here to loot you. Let me be on my way. I said, no. My father asked me to fetch you back to our house. I said, why? Food is just being prepared and my family wants to offer it to you. Unusual. I walked with Bhagavad Ichha, jo aaj likha hai. So I walked with him. So he said, get onto the cycle, I'll take you. I said, no, I have taken a vow to only walk, no vehicle. So I'll walk with you. I have to reach, I'll reach, and you be there waiting for me, I'll reach. You can go. So he walked with me with a lot of humility, and it was an unusual thing. I was despised, or I was asked to move away, but this was completely different. That was being overflowingly seen in this kid. So finally I reached that house and they were ecstatic. Unusual completely, like, ye ho kya raha hai aaj? What? And they were in their ecstasy, they brought in a pot of water to wash my hands and legs out there. And by then walking for 30 days, with no soap, nothing, and I was looking most, what can I say, disgusting. The clothes that I was wearing had, how much ever you wash just with water, it will carry its own dirt and other things. They were still there. So they said, would you mind taking a shower first? I said, sure. So they arranged for fresh hot water. First time in 30 days. Somebody offering hot water. So I went there and I said, leave your clothes there. They washed my clothes, my bag, every bit of cloth that was there, they were washed and they were ironed. While in the house, main house, can you imagine a stranger calling into your house, main living room, and in that living room, a big banana leaf. And it was not like leftovers. You could see that it was freshly being made in that kitchen and being brought and served. And in those days, I should shamelessly accept, I used to walk about 50-55 kilometers per day, and the hunger had no bounds. The capacity that I could devour had no limits. Dalte jao, dalte jao. And in 30 days, for the first time, I felt like somebody fed me, matching my hunger. And they were happily giving it. And there was no, resistance, or you, after begging for 30 days, you pick up on those vibes. Like that. And then they saw that I had a lot of lacerations on my legs, because somebody, and this was after Chidambaram, so somebody had stolen my chappal. So I was just walking without chappal after that. By the time I was done, they marked my size, and that fellow got a 10 size, 11 size, a 12 size. Usually you don't get my size that easily in villages. This fellow went to the next village, got those chappal and said, please wear some chappal. So this all left me completely puzzled. It was not just that house, that family. The entire village, whatever religion that they practice, doesn't matter. For a sadhu was of a different nature. I said, there is something strange about this village, and it's a very unique experience that I am going through. Can you tell me as to what has changed the entire population into such a mindset, such a sattvic bhava that this entire village is carrying? Then they said that just about 2 years before I had gone there used to be a sadhu living in that community, outskirts of that community, and these people would go to him for satsang. His training that the entire village had changed into a spiritual hub. And it was his instruction to these students that if a sadhu goes by, make sure that you at least feed them one meal. And they had taken it to their heart. And you could see that they were sincere seekers practicing. A sadhu who can leave that kind of an impact on an entire society, that family opens up their doors for a stranger to come in their family, stay in their living room, and to be fed not leftovers, fresh. And I was very hesitant. I said, whatever is left, please. He said, no, that is wrong. That is not how a sadhu should be fed. We were not sure that you would be coming back, therefore we had not started cooking. Take shower and come, we will be ready. 4-5 courses of meal. Of course, every course is rice. But to part with something that you have to a stranger, what kind of prabhava that Mahatma should be having on the entire population? He told me the story that they only have a cycle, and when this boy was searching for my foot size shoe, the shopkeeper said, I have a vehicle, let's go to the next village and get. And he's not obliged to do it. Mahatma, who has established himself in that, Santam Mahanta, can have that kind of an influence. Community, entire population. Population is uplifted in their spiritual understanding. And that is why he describes, Adi Shankaracharya ji here describes them as natalōkahitam charantaha, wherever they are, blooming environment. Such a blossoming environment. Swayam tirnaha, they have gone across, and yet they come back to ferry those who who are still trapped one at a time to the other side. Janan api ahetuna tarayantaha. Maybe sometimes it has happened that you show some, touched by the moment or whatever has happened, you wanted to help someone where you are not obliged to. Perplexed and shocked, and are you sure you want to do this? I don't have anything to give you. Anything, says this Mahatma. Is this path that I have taken which has given me this amazing experience of fulfillment. What I am here to offer. Path, that whole logic and argument seems completely contradicting to what we have experienced. To the ones who they have come to help, offense for that help, Mahatmas also. There have been people who have been poisoned, people who have been nailed, people who have been killed. Stop. That's fine. It is. What is the last stage of Jesus called? There's a movie also on that. Passion, right. Thank you, sir. It's called the Passions of Christ. That's the last segment in the Bible. Moving, that I can never forget. I imagined certain things, but what I saw shook me up. With sharp blades. He's tied down and whipped. Being whipped. The rabbi, who is not convinced that he should be punished, pressure of the rest of them, punishment. And then he pleads to the rest of them, let him go, let him be. He should be further punished. An inch on his body where there is no cut or a laceration on his body. It's that perforated all over. One, they nail him down on a cross. Make him carry that cross all across the city. And they go to that mound and they nail him. If a small thorn pricks, खड़ी हो जाती है अपनी. Lacerated, whipped thoroughly, more blood in his body to ooze out, and he is nailed. With that support, he has to be hanging in there. And at the evening, to make sure that he is dead, they puncture his spleen. Movement, that is when they decide that this fellow is dead. He's already been done. So, but he's dead. And he's satisfied that yes, he is dead and he is leaving. Then there is that famous statement. Jesus, he looks heavenwardly. O Lord, forgive them. When they come to you, punish them for what they have done unto me. This is only through them and not by them. How many such Mahatmas, great souls, creators, give us this path that they have found, they have accomplished, they have seen the other side. It seems unusual, it seems irregular, it seems unnecessary, it seems very distracting and disturbing. Because it is completely the other way. And yet, generation, have they stopped? They still come back. Ahetuna, without any personal gain or motive. Tarayantaha. Help the entire population, entire seekerhood there to get across this samsara sagar. Svabhava svatayeva yatpara Ramapanoda pravanam mahatmanam Sudham Shuresha Swayamar Kakarsha Swayamar Kakarsha Prabhabhitapta Mavati Kshitim Kila Bhitapta Mavati Kshitim Kila. Ayam svabhavaha svatayeva yat apanoda pravanam mahatmanam sudhamshuhu esha. He is comparing these Mahatmas. Sudhamshu is the moon. Referring to the moon. Though the moon takes the entire heat and then reflects, all the heat is absorbed, and what it sends across is only aspect of it. And that's why so many people are inspired looking at a full moon. Chaudavi ka chand, people are inspired. A chand sa roshni, people are inspired looking at that moon. Personally go through that it takes the heat of that sun, absorbs it, radiates back. It only radiates nothing but coolness. See, many of us, when we are reactive, I said, must have gone through some bad experiences that they are reacting like this. You know, those who have some psychological, pathological must have had a traumatizing thing in the past or in the childhood, spewing out such venomous world. Even the moon goes through such a torturous environment. During all that, what does he still give back to the world around? These Mahatmas moon, and with their magnanimity, what do? Orb, tortures, and yet give back to the society, give back to that humanity. He is not just saying, "Oh Master Swamin, I do understand that having reached there, it was not a easy path for you. Come back for us. But now that you have come back, there is nothing that I can match up to give you. And yet I am standing in front of you to ask to help me get across." Prepared student he is. And then he says, we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the final day for this year. We will meet next year. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnamadaya Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.